brought in Yovska and Eva Destruction.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember. Was that last year?
last year, yeah, and both with money from Freddie. Yovska, we didn't make any money. Eva, we finally made like $100 each.
Destruction?
Yeah, and that's like not paying ourselves to like perform or host or anything. But and then upcoming we have Weeby, again sponsored by Freddie. We love
Oh,
you,
for the
Freddie.
stretcher.
Stretcher, Strip and Slide 3,
Okay.
Wetter, Wilder, and Weebier.
Great. I thought I'm not a fan of Weeby. I know you're a fan of it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We will not stand for Weeby hate on this pod.
No, I'm just saying. I
I'm
mean,
gonna tell her you want to interview her. I'm gonna set it
okay.
up. Yeah, and then you can tell her
Okay.
to her face.
I would,
Listen,
honey.
I met Weeby on like a random Wednesday night in Vancouver in 2020. I want to say 2021. I went to see Charlie XCX there, and I saw her perform in like a show at the Junction on a Wednesday, and she reminded me so much of Ammonia, and I was like so homesick that I went up to her and was like, "You remind me of my best friend. Like you're so cool." Then the next day, I was in line at the same bar because I just like going to the same bar, and this like cute little ginger comes up to me and is like, "Oh my God, Gemma, hi!" And I'm like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "It's Weeby, like out of drag," and I immediately fell in love. And then I just recently went to visit them in Vancouver, and I found out that they're a Libra. That makes so much sense. Geminis and
Oh,
Libras.
I mean, yeah, they have that clown and hilarious personality.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, although Weeby wasn't my pick for the show, you
I
know.
know. We all wanted Pepper to win here in Edmonton.
Yeah, Pepe and Michaela were my picks, because they did so well. But at the end of the day, I've come to realize that even as a performer, it's not all about dancing or doing this and doing that, right? Whatever Weeby did to win, congratulations, Weeby. Um, it just shows that you really don't have to do too much,
I
you know.
think an important thing to consider with all like reality TV show casting, and this can be said for Drag Race and potentially Call Me Mother, they don't pick the best performers to be on the show. They're picking people who are gonna like mesh in a
Make
way
it,
and create like a
yeah.
storyline, right? And like I've been around enough people that were on that show to know that there was a lot that happened that didn't get shown, you know? So I'm not saying that nobody deserved or didn't deserve to win
Win, yeah.
anything, but like there's definitely so much like narrative and stuff that happens like behind the scenes.
I mean, I heard a
Like
lot of things from different people, and I'm
yeah,
like,
right? Like maybe
I can't even talk.
yeah. I think it also comes down to like after all the like trials and tribulations that you go through like filming a show like that, like
You
did
take a
some of them
step
like
back
want to
and,
win,
yeah.
like or what would they have done like with it? So I think that Weeby was a good choice in terms of like naming this first child of drag, and also like Weeby has a very interesting storyline because they started doing drag like during COVID. Like they had performed like 4 times before they were on Call Me Mother, which according to them is like very controversial in Vancouver. But I think it just goes to show that there's no one way to like start doing drag, and like this is why I tell the new people like just do it, just put
And now
yourself out
Weeby made
there.
money. Like, Weeby's making money.
Yeah,
I mean, because I told someone I started doing drag with the intention of making money, but then I realized that I should have planned.
yeah. I think it's an ebb and flow. Like for example, I just spent this much money on this like costume, right? And then I wore it once, and then I made a little bit back. Then I wore it twice. So like
That's
there's always like a lot of investing, and then hopefully you line it up in a way where you can like make it back. Yeah.
yeah, true. Because like, if you're spending money, like I know you told me that was a great thing I said. Like spending money with the hope of making more money,
Yeah.
because
You should be thoughtful with how you spend it.
there are times I've reached out to local performers and be like, oh, I want to sew this clothes. And they're like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I buy a clothes that doesn't fit me. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
geez, I just
Mm-hmm.
wasted this amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to start cutting them into
Yeah.
parts.
You should hit up Celine Dijon.
Celine is busy.
I
Celine,
just
Ruby, everybody's busy. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, she's been making some like really killer stuff lately with some very like difficult to work with
Yeah.
material. I've been bugging her in the DMs too. I'm like, will you make me something?
Jenny Taylor used to do that for me, but I think Jenny moved.
Jenny's in Wetaskiwin now. Yeah, I think she's still making stuff, but probably just harder to like get it to people and do
Yeah.
fittings and stuff. Yeah.
And like, yeah, Celine is always busy. Like, hopefully, like, and the other thing, I'm always last minute. Like, I'm always telling them last minute. So,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen yourself being in a TV show like Call Me Mother or RuPaul Drag Race,
Yeah, I think.
representing Edmonton?
Yeah. I definitely think it would be a good next step for me. I would love to get more reach like across Canada. Um, I love traveling. Like I've been very like privileged to be able to perform like in I think every city except for Ontario, or sorry, every province except for Ontario at this point, and not the Maritimes either. Um, but I'd love to just like even like not like Drag Race or Call Me Mother. I'm like I want to be in like a viral like
Sure,
commercial
yeah.
or like be in a music video or something that would get like more out of drag reach. That's why I've been on my kick for opening for bands lately.
Oh yeah,
Also
that
some
is
exclusive
great.
podcast tea. Literally, I'm such a little demon. I emailed another band that I like today. I saw they're coming to Edmonton and was like, "Hey,
We
can I
have.
open for you?" Like, I'll be refreshing my email for like days after. Um, but yeah, I think it like I've in the past invested a lot emotionally into getting on a TV show and the processes that you have to go through to get on some of those TV shows is
Just too much.
very difficult, especially to do that year after year. Um, so I'm trying to like I will audition again, absolutely. Like, there's no way I'm not going to, but I need to stop spending every year like thinking
Doing the
about
same
it
thing,
and
yeah.
like I like using that as a milestone to shape your drag around because obviously like every year I haven't gotten on, but then I've gone on to just like do more and more like great things.
I
And
mean,
like
you're gaining more experience, right?
yeah,
Which is also great.
and like ultimately like if I had gotten on Drag Race for season 3, I wouldn't have been able to like go on the Prairies tour. If I had gotten on Drag Race like this season, I would have missed like so much important stuff here, and like doing all this like work that I ended up doing during that time that allegedly they were filming, right?
I
So
think
it kind of always ends up working out.
everything will happen at the right time.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone on a previous episode who were like, the person was like, they don't see themselves ready, although we, the viewers, might think, oh, you're ready, you're this, you're
Hmm.
there already, but like, it all comes down to the TV shows
Yeah.
on what they want, because I'm like, at times I think, I'm like, oh, this person's a great performer. And the funny part is, I think people in Toronto or Ontario in general have more opportunities of getting on,
Hmm.
than we here in Edmonton and Alberta and everything.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I see like an out of town queen can't perform, I'm like, did we really pay $60 to see you do the hoops and this? To be honest, like they're just three performers that I've seen, and I'm like, wow, Bosco is amazing.
Hmm.
Um, Lady Camden is out of this world. I can't remember the last one that came recently that was just so amazing. But when I saw someone like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I know performers that will eat this bitch out,
Yeah. And I think it's so hard. Like, I've
But
had this
how are they able
similar
to get on?
I've had like a similar experience where you're watching like or even like I've been to like Toronto, Vancouver, like Montreal to see shows and I see like the best performers there do their best stuff and I'm like, okay, this is nice. But I'm like, but what about like Giselle? Like what
I
about
was about to say that. I
like
was like,
you
oh, I want
know?
to say Pepe, like
And I think just
myself.
like the character of our community, like you could literally have like an Edmonton's drag race and have every
True,
box ticked
true.
of like what they want to see on drag race like they want to see like the camp they want to see like the established queen that does the pageant they want to see like the like dips splits and flips queen
Yeah.
and I feel like literally just from Edmonton you could like cast that
Having
um
like 20 performers.
yeah but I think Edmonton's time will come.
Yeah, true. I mean, we have the Sheila's on. Is that her name?
Yes, yeah, she originally lived in Edmonton when she I think not when she first started doing drag, but early in her drag time, and then she moved back to Saskatoon.
And that was because, like I said, being in Edmonton is kind of like a disadvantage, I think, but I'm not sure.
I think it's very like a self-contained bubble, and I see it like a lot of Edmonton followers follow people in Calgary and pay attention to what's happening in Calgary,
Instead
but
of
not vice
Edmonton.
versa. You know, like a lot of people in Edmonton, we follow like people from Vancouver and we're obsessed with them, but it's not vice versa. And I literally don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm like, now we got Darla, we got Brendan, everybody's social media
Yeah,
looking
pictures,
amazing,
yeah.
you know? And I'm like, why are people sleeping on this
Edmonton,
city?
yeah.
Like, do we need one of our performers to get on this show to give like validation? Because we've had Pepper and we've had Felicia on Call Me Mother, and they both.
Felicia was on Coming Mom.
Felicia was on Call Me Mother season 1.
Felicia Bone?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
You gotta keep
She's
up.
gonna be on this episode soon.
You know, and so and they had great storylines, and so I'm like, why didn't people recognize that? Maybe soon people will see something and they'll make them notice Edmonton, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna apply for Coming Mother, but I'm like, I just procrastinate and I just get tired. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, so now I'm going to do this. How am I gonna pay my rent when I'm on this show?
Right.
How am I gonna do this? What if I don't win?
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's just a me thing. I don't know if it happens to other people. When I want to do something, I think of the bad things first before I think of the good things. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yeah. You're thinking like 10 steps down the line and you haven't taken the first step.
When I saw the criteria, I'm like, well, I've not been in a TV show before. What am I gonna do there? Am I gonna go do the same Cardi B song? Or what am I gonna give? You know, because I feel like I still need more experience personally. You know, I feel drag is it's just like you're a celebrity, you're like a musician. You know, you need to put in the best. And I'm past my fake it till you make it days. You know, when I was in college and high school, like I'll go to stores and buy clothes, you know, and I'll take off the tags, you know, and then when I wear it, because I make sure I don't stain it or anything. When I wear it, I put the tags back, will return it, grab my money back.
I did that last week, girl.
You know, like I did that a lot, you know, and I was like, I can't keep doing this, you know, because it's not making sense. So now for drag, for example, you have to keep up. Like, let me use Onika for example. Today she's wearing yellow, tomorrow she's wearing blue, next tomorrow she's wearing green, you know? So those are the kind of things. But at the end of the day, when it comes to me, I'm like, yes, I can spend that money, but am I making money? Because I'm sorry, like, my motive is to make money. You know, I know Onika is investing in herself, right? But personally, I'm like, if I'm spending 1,000 for this dress, like, am I making 1,000, 1,200 back?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not making 1,200 back, I'm not gonna wear it. Like, I'm not gonna spend that money, you know, because what if I don't eventually become something big in the future?
Yeah.
What if I wake up tomorrow and like, oh, I don't want to be a drag artist, so I just wasted my resources and wasted my time, you know, because things happen, you know, because yeah, like I'm still trying to get over this negative thoughts, but I think to be in drag, you need to have money to invest. You know, you need to know what you're doing. Like I said, I didn't really plan. I just went there. Oh yeah, Fashion Over, H&M, this
Yeah.
and that. You know,
Yeah.
which is not really 100% the way. I mean, like you don't have to be like everybody. You know, everyone is different. So you do your thing. You do your thing. Because if we're all the same, it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah.
You know. And I try to follow some like I mentioned earlier. I just started watching Drag Race. You know, I try to like learn from I mostly watch the lip sync for your life or battle for your life,
Yeah.
whatever they say. I try to watch that because I feel like that is the moment where you get to show yourself, you know, because getting in is one thing, but staying there is another thing. Because you wouldn't want to go there, oh yes, I'm on TV, and then you get eliminated in the first week.
Yeah.
Like that is what I watch. I'm like, I need to learn from this. You know, I know some performers that would literally go to the next step and everything.
Yeah.
You know? But then I'm like, I don't really see myself doing this, you know, because I need to learn a lot of songs because I know they don't tell them the songs right.
They would give you a list beforehand.
Oh, they'll give you a list. Okay, great then. So I'm like, what if they just give you a random song and I don't know the song? How do you like? But yeah, it is what it is. So, what is your favorite performance?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, before we move on to this, I just want to say one thing about the previous conversation about like getting things and stuff. I got given like a really good piece of advice by Weeby. I won't say it too loud because apparently you don't like them.
No, oh, come on, I like
I'm just teasing you.
that.
So this is something that I kind of have been struggling with. You literally like the comment about this earlier about how I wear that bodysuit
Yeah.
so much.
Oh
The
yeah.
thing is, like, when I think of like a drag performer, like when I think of like Sasha Velour, when I think of like, I don't know, iconic Bob the Drag Queen, I think of them in this one outfit that they always wear, you know? And I think like people enjoy seeing you as like this
Yeah.
character. And Weeby said, like, people want to see you do your favorite number every week. Like people want to see you wear that one outfit that's like your best outfit because you look great in it. And the people that really like you are never going to be like,
Get
well,
tired.
Gabii, you wore this last week. They're going to be like, this is your best outfit, Gabii. This is like your favorite outfit, so it's my favorite too. So I do think like there's validity, and like I'm sure Onika has her calendar planned out every day of the month. You know what she's going to wear. But I also think that there's validity in re-wearing stuff and making it more like branding it as like a
Yeah.
signature look, because it's just as exciting, I think, to see somebody in like the old faithful where you're like, I know like Vanity's got this like amazing gown on, and I might have seen it 20 times, but I
Yeah.
it's just as sparkly as it was the 20 times before, and she's gonna do this number that I know is gonna amaze me. To me, that's just as entertaining as being like, oh my god, what's Giselle gonna do this time?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
true,
that's
true,
someone who
yeah.
to me is like changing up looks a lot and like never really wears the same thing twice.
Yeah, Odeke has the same thing I think. Because I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm at times I wonder like, okay, this dress would cost 1,000. You never see them wear it again. And in my head I'm like, huh,
but
like
maybe she's gonna wear it once a year for the next 20 years, you know? Like,
true, true.
yeah,
Everything is investment,
it
you
is
know.
yeah, and it could be long term, it could be short term, like, yeah.
I know we have a lot of great performers. We have Ammonia, we have Q Car, we have Pepe, I don't know what they're waiting for to pick us in Edmonton. Like
Yes, yes, and it's not for lack of
and
trying, I
we
think.
have diverse performers, because not everyone is a good dancer,
Hmm.
not everyone is funny, not everyone is a good painter, not everyone is good at talking, not everyone is good at singing. Some
Name names.
just
Whoa.
no, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if we have diverse performers in the city, so I don't know what criteria they're looking for, because I'm sure we've had people who are good dancers apply, they didn't pick them. We have people who are good singers, they didn't pick them. So what exactly do they want? They better pick us.
Hmm.
But yeah, so
Yeah, I think it's when you said like, oh, I don't feel like I'm ready, I don't feel like I'm ready. And like every year that I've gone through stuff like that, I've thought I was ready, but then immediately after I look back and go, no way. But I think honestly, like it's up to the show to decide if you're ready or not. And you might
mhm.
not know it, but like even like you with Call Me Mother, like yeah, you might have like one Cardi B song or whatever, but they might look at you and be like, "Oh my god, this is somebody who is so passionate and is so like charismatic." And like I think for a show like that, they don't want somebody who's like, "This is who I am and this is how it's going to be." They want somebody who's like, "This is what I want to do," and then they want to help you get there. Whereas on Drag Race, they want you to be like, "This is exactly who I am." And I've thought about doing Call Me Mother as well because I really feel like I would love to improve on like so many things, but it's so hard. Like they're just two very different like universes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like drag is great. I've been to a lot of singing auditions, a lot of talent auditions. They don't pick me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go to drag where I can do like this and it'll pop.
Yeah.
I've been to some competitions and they're like, oh, it's not your song. It's just like Drag Race, right? It's not your song. You're doing a cover song, so we
Mm.
can't pick you because we want authenticity. Authentic, authenticity. Is that the
Yeah.
right word?
Yeah. You got there.
So yeah, but I just hope that they pick someone, because that way we're gonna get inspired and motivated.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the trailers on, I was like, I've seen you perform, no shades, but you know, um, but you're in Canada's Drag Race,
I think
so
seeing someone you know and seeing somebody you maybe have like shared experience with, like if you saw like Pepper on Drag Race, it would make you be like, oh my God, I could do that too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, or even like they would consider somebody from our city. Because again, I feel like we're so self contained and like, I'm like, where's the attention on us? You know, even like there was an article that came out like about a year ago, and it was like the best like underrated drag scenes in or in Canada, and it was like Calgary, like yeah, totally, Winnipeg, yeah, but I was like, no, Edmonton,
Oh my goodness.
like Calgary versus Edmonton. Edmonton is underrated. Calgary, like they have like
Overrated.
not overrated, but they have so much more shows and like celebrity bookings, and people can like make a living doing drag there. I'm like, Edmonton, that's where we need like more. We need more attention so that we're not like an afterthought to other cities. I want it to be like, oh my God, Edmonton is the fiercest drag scene. I want it to be known, Edmonton, as the fiercest drag scene, because to me that's already the truth.
But at the end of the day, like I've noticed, you always call one person's name whenever you say, "Oh, who's supposed to be in Drag Race," you call one person name because I feel like we have a lot of performance, but only few do things.
Yeah, and I think also like there's a lot of pressure for representation from Edmonton because it's going to be like the first one, you know? So you want somebody who is going to reflect like well on the
What
scene.
Edmonton
Yeah,
is like,
yeah. So like that's why personally I think that it's going to be fine. Like if there was somebody from Edmonton on Drag Race, I think that they would be a very good representative in this next upcoming season. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, who knows?
So yeah, what's your favorite performance?
My favorite performance, like that I've done. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've really been enjoying performing without my pads on and just like really showing my body more. So.
Oh yeah, you know, sorry to cut you.
Yo, go.
The first time there was a time I saw it, everyone was like, "Oh my god, my booty looks small," you know. And then I saw you another time. I was like, "Oh, it wasn't really Gemma's booty."
No, it's not. It's not. It's so funny. Well, I'm surprised people can't tell because I'm covered in tattoos,
yeah.
but when I have the pads on, it just stops, right? So that's why I've been kind of enjoying not wearing the pads as much because you can see my legs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been doing this Charlie mix in this like little bodysuit, and it's just been really fun.
You've been into bodysuit a lot this
I know.
year.
Listen, it's hot. I almost got heat stroke several times last summer, so this summer I was like, buns out, suns out, buns out. But yeah, probably I think like some Caroline Polachek performances that I've done, like Bunny as a Rider and So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings are some of my favorites. I'll always look back on my Alberta's Next Drag Superstar.
Oh, you did that too?
Yes.
Did you win?
No. I did get a perfect score in the preliminary round, but I was eliminated in the semifinals.
So what is it like? You know, because I've been thinking that that's something I would love to do. Because
Yeah.
ever since I lost that pageant and I see like any competition, I'm like, no, thank you, no, thank you. Anything that is more than me dancing or performing, I don't want to do it. Anything with fashion, count me out, because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, ANS is like it's tough, not gonna lie. I think part of what makes it tough is the timeline. So it'll be like the preliminary and then the semifinal a month later, but then the finals are like 2 weeks after the semis. So right, if you're in the semifinals, you don't know whether or not you're moving on. You have to basically be ready. Because imagine you didn't think you're gonna make it through, then you do, then you all of a sudden have 2 weeks for this. People will bring out like backup dancers, like props, like really wild costumes. My preliminary performance was like a Marina and the Diamonds song mix. And basically it was like the story of like being a robot because I've been told a lot that like especially I think like being in the position that I'm in, like people say that I act very like robotic or that I'm very like cold and calculated, which I feel like is not true. But I wanted to do like a performance where I'm like a robot. I'm like an emotionless robot. And then I'm like a puppet. Like there was these like strings and then my backup dancers are like moving me with, like a puppet. And Imani helped me choreograph it. So it was like really special to me because I was
What
like,
year was
this was like 2018, 2019.
Oh
yeah, a long time ago, pre-COVID. Yeah.
Just started.
And then My semifinal was continuing the story. The first round was going to be like about robots. The second one was about aliens. And have you ever seen like Lady Gaga art pop
Yeah.
era like tour videos where she's like on stage and she's like monologuing and they're doing like the costume change for her?
Yeah.
So when I saw this in 2010 when art pop came out, oh my god, I was like so obsessed, and I have this like video on my hard drive saved to it where I screen recorded it. I just loved it. It was just so like theatrical to me. So for my semifinals, I did a lip sync, and then my backup dancers like change my costume for me while I talk on the mic, and then I start like singing live. And not even that was enough to get me through to the finals.
Who won?
I think this was the year Pheromone Kills won. Yeah.
So wait, how many years did they do this?
They do it every year. But the one that I did, it basically took 3 years because COVID delayed it. But the next one coming up, like it's going to be like 2 months in and out. And
when
then
is the next one? Because I need to apply.
I think it was originally around April, May, but
They've done it already?
No, but they didn't do it this year because they're planning to do it like next year, like big. Yeah.
So how do we apply?
Rob
for the viewers?
For the viewers, Rob from Evolution Wonder Lounge will post on the story on the Facebook, or probably like posters up at the bar. Yeah, I can't say for sure when. I know that they were gonna change like the month of when it was. But because they also got to coordinate with Calgary, right? Because it's Alberta's Next Drag Superstar.
Okay.
And in the semifinals, Edmonton and Calgary comes together. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Pheromone Kills is a great performer, you know.
It was her and Dana in the top two.
DJ.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And
Pheromone won.
And so imagine those two like dancing against each other. It was crazy.
And Pheromone won.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that means she's a great performer because I've seen her once. So before I started working at the bar and everything, you know, I saw them perform. I took a video, I saved it, I put it in a Snapchat, you know, and then I didn't know who they were. So whenever they show up to the bar, I'm always like, $5, and they're like, the Alberta Next Drag Superstar, you know, and I was just like, okay, wait, let me go confirm because I wasn't told that you were allowed to let certain people in. You know, I did that with the previous mix zero, Adrenaline. The first time I was like, I need to go confirm. You know,
right.
Adrena
also, you have so many people to keep up with. You know,
Adrena wasn't pissed. You know, but Pheromone Kills the first time I had to go confirm. She went in, and then the second time I was like, I don't remember you. Let me go. And Pheromone just ran off. I was like,
do you know who I am?
Right, and I was like, I fired back. I was like, honey, I don't know who you are. Not everyone knows who you are. You know, like it was just crazy.
Well, when you win Alberta's Next Drag Superstar, then you can go back to Evo and say, "Let me in."
Right. So when I figured out who they were, like I was just scrolling through my.
It's hard in and out of drag to tell people too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is Pheromone Kills. Like she's a great performer, you know, and for her to win over DJ Dana, like, oh my god, hats off to you, honey, because
it was a battle. It was
that
a
is
battle.
A great performer too from Calgary. Like I see some like DJ Dana, Giselle, Carly Climax, Camille Kiokar. Who else is a fierce performer? We have Honey, we have Pepe. You know, all these people. I see them do some certain things, and I'm like. Like really last good time I split twice. I was fine. The next one I couldn't move my leg.
Oh.
When I'm driving,
you gotta do
I'm
your
like,
stretches.
But then you see someone like these people do things, and I'm like, how on earth are they sacrificing their body? You know?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, and my next show, I'm just gonna be standing at
Stand
a spot.
it, park and mark it.
Exactly, like honey, like I'm learning from the best, and you got this. But yeah, I mean, like, hats off to this performance. But that is gonna be a great battle. So, what is it like? I know we don't have a lot of time. We're gonna.
It's still recording though, so we're good.
We're gonna split the video though. So, what is it like? Like, is it just performing, or do they have different categories?
Okay, yeah. So the preliminary and the semifinal is going to be like performance of your choice. Then the final, 3 categories. There's like a fantasy wear, or it'll be like a theme wear, and you have to make like an outfit. There's an interview and the performance. So then it gets to like real pageants.
It's just like a pageantita.
Yeah, it's well, Pageantinta is mini Page, right? So it's all happening in one night, and then Anne's is like Pageantinta times whole of Alberta, basically.
Hmm. Everybody's bringing their A game. I remember, like, whenever I think of competition, I just have flashback. I'm like,
Well, hey, the difference is in Pageantinta you get paid whether you win or lose. So
oh, you don't get paid for ads?
no,
Oh my
any
goodness.
competition, only the winner is getting paid. You get tipped, right? But yeah,
So I know your least favorite performance. You mentioned you did something at the park.
at the
You did
park,
something at the park,
yeah,
and now you redeemed it.
I
I saw. Yeah,
did.
I
I
saw this.
did. Yeah. I got the right track. Did a little park show. It felt nice. It felt good. And then it was really funny because I gotta go was there too. Like she works downtown, and we just kind of looked at each other during it,
Do
like
you remember?
yeah, yeah. It was very silly, but yeah, I felt good.
And how many? So I know you're a producer for some shows, right? And most of the shows have evolved to win stilettos.
Some, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and how do you feel about
Um, Good, I guess. Glad that I could help. Like Eleganza, I really do feel like I deserve a stiletto award for for complying with all those demands. And the other one, I feel like you're referring to like Pageantinta,
Yeah.
and it's actually not a Party Queens show anymore because
Oh.
LaDonna just does like so much on her own that it just made more sense for her to do it independently. So we did do like a little bit of stuff like tech and stuff for that, but I will say like that one she won it on her own for like her vision and stuff.
Shout out to Ladonna.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if any of the other shows won stilettos. Parky Queens, I guess. Again, that was like a team effort between me and God, who did like a lot of permit permit applications and heavy
Really?
lifting and stuff. Yeah, we did it illegally for many many summers until a police officer came up and was like, "Do you guys have a permit for this?" And I was like, oh my gosh, totally." And they were like, "Okay, cool, we'll carry on then." I look at Vincent, I'm like, "Girl, we do not have a permit."
For park show?
Yeah, you have to have a permit. Listen, I don't get it. The land is stolen, and I have to have a
Exactly.
permit to
You
show
pay
up with
for a
some
permit?
speakers. We never paid. We only did the free ones, and if they ever tried to make us pay, God would send really mean emails.
I
That's why you
love
need God.
God.
That's why you need God on your team because he's a heavy hitter. Um, yeah.
So, and how many stilettos have you won personally out of the 15 nominations, right?
Oh my God, 50?
15, 15.
15. Yeah, I think more like 15. I think I have five. The first year of Stilettos, I won the best non-Evo show. It was a shared award with Indigo for our show that we did at the strip club. I think my second year I won like best host and the Parky Queens and um what's it called? The best music video for Get Out of Our Frame, my song with God Nagata.
Really?
Yeah. Um
Best music video?
it was just a recording of us at Evo, but they were like
Okay.
music video. Listen, I'm not complaining. There might be one more. I did not win any this year. I won Mix Evo. Is that an award? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
Man, it's above everything,
true. It's the only award that you don't get voted for.
which is great.
Yeah, Rob just flex.
And I think I, so. Let's move on to something.
All right, all right.
Oh my goodness! I'm trying to think about what we talked about last time. Um, so are there any upcoming shows?
Yes. Okay. So we got a little bit of time to breathe after Pride, but I think starting mid July is when stuff is picking up again for me. So I'm gonna be at the Carnival
See,
C, July 15th at Collab. It's the surrealism themed show, so it's gonna be very weird and wacky. Can't wait to see what everybody wears. July 16th is Margaret Snatcher's Bestie Boots show at Evo. And then PQ is going to be pretty busy with K Days. We have like an hour long show that we're doing that's like the different eras of women in rock. It's called Party Queens of Rock. Haha, so creative. And then me and Ammonia are doing this
story
like
time.
we're doing a story time, and we're also doing a 10-minute Hannah Montana versus Miley Cyrus, like
Oh, I
mix where
know
we go
who's
back
gonna
and
be
forth.
Hannah
Yes,
Montana.
baby. Yeah, because I already have the outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that, and then just like some roaming and stuff. Basically, I'll be at think like 5 of the 7 days of K days, just like roaming around there. So that'll be lots of fun. And I have not even started to think about what's happening in August yet because I'm literally still like trying to wrap up stuff from June. So
I know you mentioned that you're proud of a boy actually and Hot Wheels.
yes, those are like two of my fruits who are just so special. Also, they're like I've ended up becoming like close friends with them and just getting to see their growth and stuff. Also, they're
Right?
dating, right? Literally, it's so funny. In the carnival, we always are like, okay, this guy that I like is coming to the show. This guy or this person I talked to on Tinder is coming to the show, and we always try and get all of our like crushes to come to sell tickets. And I was like, okay, now that a boy and Mars are dating, like we're one crush down. We're gonna have to invite more
Yeah,
crushes
people.
because they're coupled up. So they're not gonna be inviting all their crushes to the show. Um, but yeah, love those two. Love working with Hot Wheels through Party Queens. Love working with both of them in the carnival. It's a slay every day.
That's great. Um, what else do I want to talk about? Because I know you have a lot to say.
I know, I know.
um, so what's your thought about what's happening in the States about this drag bans and whatnot?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Whoa, getting so deep. I think like well, for context, like, I've been kind of dealing with this type of rhetoric like my whole life, but it's just like hidden in different ways. But I think ultimately what it comes down to is people have this way of life, and whether it's like beliefs that you are given through like your religion, through your class, through your like race, through like your family dynamic, like you have this like way of life. Like for example, you might think I have to grow up and have a wife and 2 kids and get a job and get a job to take care of my wife. And then you see people who are like drag performers who are breaking that norm of what you think your life is supposed to be like. Like maybe a guy sees a woman and is attracted to her and then finds out she's trans, and then all of a sudden it's breaking this way of life that people think that they're supposed to have. So I think,
My situation.
right? So I think like not all of it, but a lot of the motivation behind trying to ban and suppress this is that people want to keep their safe way of life and they don't want things to change, or
Which is
they
crazy.
well, it's not even really a change because we've been around, but people just don't want like their little way of life to be disrupted. But what they don't understand is like we don't give a fuck what they're doing, like, so why do they care what we're doing? And I also think that there's a lot of like capitalistic like motivation around it, like they're trying to suppress like queer people because it doesn't fit into like the demographic that they want, or it doesn't create like the right look for their brand. You've seen like so many like
Stores,
brands that
yeah.
would pick up like queer people or trans people, and then it gets them some hype, and then they're like, wow, great, we're selling products, and then people are like shooting up their Bud Light, and then all of a
Like
sudden they're like,
bye.
actually
Bud
no,
Light.
bye, you know
Yeah.
so it's just like there's so many like reasons, but I think a lot of it just comes down to like,
America being America.
yeah, it's this very like what's the word, like regressionist sense of thing. And I think especially like when Trump was president, people were like, this is great, like this is protecting my way of life, like he
Yeah.
agrees with me, he's gonna like make America great again or whatever. And then you have Biden, who in many ways is just as complacent as Donald Trump in like so many things, but then all these like redneck like conservatives are like, our way of life is being threatened, like our president is a fucking liberal and like he wants to make everybody gay. And so people are just so like incensed about it, and it's like people are either on one end of the spectrum or the other, and it's really like scary.
I
Yeah.
was on a date with this one guy, and it was a movie date, and it happened to be that the movie there was a queer couple with
Hmm.
a kid, and I don't know how they got the kid up, but like maybe he adopted. I can't recall
Could be,
right.
could be.
Um, and I don't know what we're talking about. So it was a movie Dave Bautista acted in. I think the name of the
Oh
movie
my
is
gosh,
Knock.
Knock at the Cabin.
Yes.
Good movie,
Yeah.
right?
So
Yeah, they adopted the kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
was right
Their cute little
then.
kid. Oh, it was so good. And isn't Dave Bautista like,
Right?
yeah.
And like it was a crazy movie. Like I was like, he just kept killing himself for no
Yeah,
reason.
like of all the shit happening in that movie, the queer couple is not the most like shocking thing, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't know what we're talking about because I don't go around telling people I'm a drag performer, right? I mean, I would
You
love to,
could
but like
never tell by looking at you.
right. And then we're just talking, and I don't know what brought up drag, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't think drag queens should read books to kids." And I was just like it's sent down a chill in my spine. I was like, "Oh, okay, but is it okay for cops to go read books to kids?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I don't think cops." He wasn't supportive of cops doing it at first, but because he was trying to like um stand by his word that no
Yeah.
drag queen shouldn't read books to kids and no one should read books. But I was like, so you allow cops to read books to kids, you allow doctors to read books to kids. But let me bust your bubble. Some drag performers are doctors, some drag performers are teachers,
Yeah.
some drag performers are all these things. So
Probably
I want me to
cops
think
too.
because the things your face, they can't read a book that a school curriculum has set
Mm-hmm.
for children to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see myself reading books to kids because like being around kids just give me anxiety already. And then, I feel like